I have been following Roniesha on social media since she started promoting the release of her self published book, The Blossoming of Me, subtitled When Life Throws Dirt, Plant Flowers. I've been so inspired by her journey, going from releasing her book to doing a one woman stage play. It's amazing what you can do when your vision about your future is clear. And that's what we've been discussing here on the Right Insight. Healthy vision. What stands in the way of us having healthy vision and how we can clear our vision up. I am so glad that Roniesha trucked all the way down here from Chester, PA to the Queen City to be with us today. I hope you're excited as well. We're going to take a brief break and have a commercial brought to us by 265 Point Fitness, the place where faith, fitness, and fun meets. Thank you for joining us on The Right Insight. I am your host, Chaunel Christine, and I am sitting here with transformational speaker, author, and stage playwright Roniesha Seaton. We've been talking about her life story, which she has conveyed to everyone for everyone to read and hear about in her book, The Blossoming of Me, subtitled When Life Throws Dirt, Plant Flowers. Roniesha has taken us through the inspiration for sharing her story. She has also shared with us that amazing analogy about the lotus flower as it relates to her subtitle. Roniesha is doing many things to support the growth and the development of others. And so I want her to share with us all, please, the message behind the I Am brand.
Okay. So as you see, I am on my shirt. I brand myself everywhere I go. Basically, I am stands for taking ownership of who you are. Taking ownership of the good, the bad, the ugly, the traumatic, the success stories, any and everything, and just saying, I am, affirming it. But also understanding that anything that you put after I am is going to shape your reality.
That's good.
So if you put negative after it, then that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to perceive. A negative life, a negative output. If you put that positive, reinforcing, affirmation, whatever word it is, it can be I am greatness.
Absolutely.
Behind it, you are going to believe it. And once you believe it, you're going to take the necessary steps to achieve it. So understanding that, my past doesn't define my future, and that I took ownership of it, and that no one,
right,
even when you read this book, can use anything inside of it against me.
Right.
I stand tall and I say I am.
Amen.
So that's the brand.
Amen. That is awesome. You see, it just took me to amens because I felt that deep down on the inside. When I first saw it on your sweatshirt, I thought to myself about the passage of scripture where God is telling Moses to tell Pharaoh, I believe, tell Pharaoh that I am sent you. And I remember the first time I heard that, I thought about the strength and the authority that came in. Tell them I am sent you. And so when I think about your brand of I am, I think about definition and declaration. I am beginning to define who you are. Just like you said, I am greatness. I am destined for greatness. I am magnificent. I am creative. I am, genuine. I am lovable. And so I think about defining who you are, but also declaring because you need to hear in order to believe it, right?
Absolutely.
So I am super excited about what you're doing back home and the lives of the people that you are touching and the expansion of the I Am brand. We have just a few minutes left. In 1 minute, tell the people about your stage play and then tell them where they can go find and purchase tickets.
So my stage play is a one-woman stage play, and I put this stage play together because I want to reach the masses. And I understand that everyone doesn't read. So with that understanding, I said, I'm going to put it in the play. Because for those who can't read, I need you to come and feel it with me. And even for those who can read, it's still a different experience from reading a book and actually seeing me play it live. So for more information, showtimes and dates, you can visit www.iam, Roniesha, Roniesha, S is in Sam, EATON.com.
Tell the people where they can follow you on social media as well.
I can be followed on Instagram at I am underscore Roniesha Seaton. I can also be reached on LinkedIn under Roniesha Seaton, and Facebook also. I am Roniesha Seaton.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. You have really enhanced our mission and our message of vision and having a healthy vision. If you can be born into unfortunate circumstances, make some bad decisions, and still come out on top of where you are today, that is a wonderful testimony. So I thank our listeners for tuning in today to The Right Insight. Again, I am your host, Chaunel Christine. Continue to tune in here where we strive to empower, equip, and invoke change and transformation in the lives of our listeners. We're back on The Right Insight with your host, Chaunel Christine, and our guest today, Roniesha Seaton. Roniesha is a public speaker, motivational speaker. She is an author. She is a playwright and a performer, and we are so excited to have her here with us today. She recently published her book, The Blossoming of Me, subtitled When Life Throws Dirt, Plant Flowers. She has a great analogy to the lotus flower when she talks about the subtitle of her book and how the lotus flower has to grow up through dark and murky waters, and it comes out bright and shiny, and she relates it to the resilience one has to have in order to overcome some of the obstacles that we encounter in life. Some of those things are without or outside of our control. Other things are because of decisions that we have made. Even still, it takes a lot of endurance and it takes a lot of resilience not to be held down and be defined by your history, by your past mistakes and poor decisions. Today, I've asked Roniesha to share with all of us more about her one-woman stage play. She has taken her book and she has produced a one-woman stage play to share with those who are in the greater Philadelphia area, and eventually it will expand beyond that territory. So, Roniesha, The Blossoming of Me, When Life Throws Dirt, Plant Flowers, I've told you before, I'm so impressed by the transparency that you demonstrated in writing your life story. I can only imagine what it's like to see you do the same in your one-woman stage play. Why did you decide to turn your book into a stage play?
I decided to turn my book into a stage play because I wanted to reach the masses. I wanted to go beyond the walls of just readers. I understood that everyone doesn't read, but the message has to be delivered.
Absolutely.
So that's what made me, take my book along with my voice of being a motivational speaker, not even an actor. I was like, you know what? I want to do this so bad. I never act. I don't even know if it's in me, but I'm going to get on that stage and act my behind off. And in the midst of acting, I'm just going to be me.
Yeah.
So, again, wanting to reach the masses.
Yeah.
Wanting to reach the masses, go beyond the walls of the book readers.
When people come out to see you, what is one of the things that you want them to take away from that time with you in that space?
So I want individuals, when they come and they look at the play, I want them to understand that I'm not giving the message for anyone to feel sorry for me. I'm giving the message for individuals to see themselves through my story and know that whatever they're going through, I don't care what it is, that the sun has to shine.
Oh, that's good.
The dark cannot stop the sun from shining.
That's good.
But most importantly, I want people to be able to identify the roles that they play in their life and take 100% ownership of it. Because once you take ownership of the role that you play, because everybody doesn't do things to you, sometimes you put yourself in situations, and when you put yourself in those situations, you get lost.
That's true.
And when you get lost and you come out of that, being able to take ownership of it, make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Right.
So my story, again, I want you to see your life through me, if possible. Know that there's an opportunity for healing. Know that there's an opportunity for growth in every area of your life, and know that whatever happens tomorrow is not going to hold you back from what's going to happen. Whatever happened yesterday, let me fix it. Is not going to hold you back for the greatness that you have prepared for you tomorrow.
That's good. That's real good. We've been talking about vision here on The Right Insight, and our mission is to empower and equip and invoke change and transformation in the lives of our listeners. I am one who believes that no one sets out to fail, to live a mediocre life, to just be complacent. I'm of the belief that when one is equipped to do so, then they do better. They fulfill their destiny, they walk out their purpose, they live their best life, right? And so, and having that discussion, we've been talking about the things that get in the way of being able to see your vision clearly. I want to tap into what you just said about ownership. Because there are many people who can't see the vision of a healthy future because they're too busy blaming other people for their current circumstances. And what I've come to learn is that ownership of your current situation and your role in that situation is the beginning to clearing the murkiness of your vision for the future.
Absolutely.
Not from the perspective of beating yourself up or shaming yourself or hiding in guilt, but just from the perspective that you describe, owning that this is the part that I played in my financial instability. This is the part that I played in being unhealthy. This is the part that I played in being overweight, or this is the part I played in having strained relationships with my family or with my children, and saying I don't want it to be that way anymore. Right? Owning it from that perspective and then being able to move on.
Absolutely.
You took ownership for your circumstances to the best of your ability and to the extent that it belonged to you. How did that happen? Did you see somebody else do it? Did you talk to someone who said, look, Niche, this is not this person's fault, that person's fault, this is your fault? How did you get to that place of just owning your story?
I got to the place of owning my story not because someone else, pointed it out to me, but because I was in a place for my life where I kept repeating the cycle.
Okay.
And I realized if you go around the same mountain, you're going to get to the same destination. So it was like you have to do something differently. And what clicked in my head was, if 50 people say I quack like a duck, and one person say, she moved like a cow, then I have to believe those 50.
Yeah.
Right? That I quack like a duck. And if I don't no longer want to quack like a duck and I want to conduct myself as a human being,
right?
I then have to change my behavior.
I love the way you simplify that. I don't want to stay there too long though, because I want to go back to the stage play.
Okay.
So you've had showings and you've had successful turnouts, and you're preparing for your next showing.
Yes.
Okay. Tell the people where you're going to be hosting the next showing of your one-woman stage play.
So the next showing will take place in Chester, Pennsylvania, not too far from Philadelphia, not too far from Jersey, not too far from Delaware. And it is open for everyone. I am welcoming everyone. And then one of the things that makes my show a little bit different from any other person's one woman or one man show or even a play, I ask everyone to be seated until I come off the stage. And why? Is because I want to greet every person in the audience. I make it my business to hug on you, to love on you, and to say thank you for coming to support me. I make it personal.
That's great.
Whatever you need from me, because like I said, I have a gift that's beyond me. So if I can sow the seed into you, just through a hug, just through that interaction, just through one or two words, whatever it is that you need to get that insight, that motivation from me, I got you.
That's awesome. I want to give a few tidbits about the book so that people have some insight into what to expect. So you start the book off by talking about the circumstances into which you were born,
Yes.
which were not ideal.
Mm-hmm.
And then you journey
Mm-hmm.
to when you first became a mom,
Yes.
which was at the age of 13.
Yes.
You continue to share that journey, and you journey or journal some of the other obstacles that you've experienced, such as, I don't want to say homelessness, because you always had a place to stay, but maybe just being
It just wasn't
displaced,
stable.
instability. So
Yeah.
I would say instability. You journey that instability, and then you bring us forward into today.
Yes.
And so what you have shared with us is a story of adversity. You've shared with us a story of trial, a story of tribulation, but you've also shared a story of triumph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So tell the people, you shared a little bit earlier today when we were together at another space. Statistically, you're not supposed to be here, right? Just give the people a little glimpse into where here is.
So, if we're talking about earlier, I referred to my life. I referred to my book. I referred to my life as a little worn because it has similarities of someone else that may have been through what I've been through. But I referred to my book as an easy read. And I say it's an easy read because you can get through it in about an hour to 3 hours or so. You can finish it all in one day, bang it out. But once you start pulling back the layers in the book, you find armor, you find strength, and you find stories of survival all the way through from the very beginning to the very end, down to the message for women and down to the message for men. So,
so today,
yes.
if I can add on, do you mind me sharing your age?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was blown away. You are 28.
28.
A mom of 3.
3. Mm-hmm.
A high school graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Second in your class.
Mm-hmm.
Second in your class.
Uh-huh.
You're a homeowner.
Yes, I am.
At 28.
Yes.
After becoming a mom at 13.
Mm-hmm.
And raising 3 children on your own.
Mm-hmm.
If that is not inspiring to the masses, I don't know what is. I have a similar story in that I, too, was a teenage mother at 15. It took me to about almost 40.
You got there. It's okay.
To get that big thing.
Age doesn't define anything.
But I almost fell off my chair today. Not because you look old, but because of the maturity that you exude when you speak. The confidence that just illuminates from you when you share your story, right? So I'm excited. We're going to take a quick break. Let me step back. I'm excited. I'm excited for you because I was getting ready to skip over. I'm excited. But let me back it up just a minute. I am excited for you. I'm excited for where you are. I am excited for the lives that you have already touched. I'm excited for the lives that you are going to continue to touch. People need you. And I am glad that you decided to look through your circumstances, to fight upward through those mercury, mud, and dirt, becoming the lotus flower that you are so that people can see you shine and know that they can shine too, right? Before we take this break, give them your website and tell them where they can follow you.
www.iam, Roniesha, RONIESHA, S is in Sam, EATON.com.
Yes. We will be right back. Please stay tuned. Well, we're back, and you are listening to The Right Insight. I'm your host, Chaunel Christine. You're tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. We are here with Roniesha Seaton. We have been having a great conversation about turning adversity into opportunity. She has overcome some trying circumstances, and she has beat the odds. She is a strong testimony in the face of others who are experiencing adversity and may be unsure about how to turn their situation from a negative into a positive. I've been enjoying this conversation so much, and I tell you, I could spend hours sitting here talking to Roniesha just about life experiences and what we pull on to keep moving and to not find ourselves in this place of stagnancy. Roniesha is, she has some shows coming up of her one-woman stage play titled the same as her book, The Blossoming of Me, When Life Throws Dirt, Plant Flowers. I'm encouraging all of our listeners in the greater Philadelphia area, in the Wilmington, Delaware area, and surrounding, in New Jersey, to come out to support, but to also be inspired to overcome those matters of adversity that may exist in your life.